Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment, people. I do want to go into the Mark Williams Thomas audio, basically interviewing Lucy May Law. I think this is important, and I think we've got to pick a few things out, which obviously there was so much going on in this case. It's very, very hard sometimes to sort of analyze specific points in this case because we've got lies, deception, many of the people, so many different things coming in. It's hard to concentrate on one thing. Now, technically, the case has settled a little bit. You can sort of just sit back and listen to things that people say and sort of take it in a lot more where it's calmer, and you haven't got the other side sort of attacking you on just because you've got thoughts.
Time that I have been in Tenerife, I was not only aware that Jay and his friends had been taking a variety of drugs, I was also being told of a sinister drug underworld. I was asked about my thoughts on drugs being connected to Jay's disappearance. I cannot rule that out at the moment, and there is certainly an aspect that concerns me with regards to the drugs, which is definitely a fraternity that exists around here. And in the last 24, 48 hours, there is definitely information that gives rise for concern around the drug aspect of it. Young people over here, you only need to go down the strip, and in a matter of 30 seconds without getting a car, you will be offered every single drug that you want.
We were told that basically you can get anything out there, but you have to be very, very, very careful. There are so many different gangs from all over the world which operate from there, and sort of interconnected as well.
And that is a worry of it. I also made a direct appeal for information. This is about finding Jay. We need as many people as possible to get involved. And I would urge, as another appeal, not just to those two people, there are people out here who know more. There are people out here who have information, who have seen Jay, who had contact with Jay whilst he was here. If you were in those clubs on that evening or in the early hours that morning, please come forward and tell us. You may be reluctant to pass that information to the police, but please use a hotline. We will circulate so that people can give us that information.
He did go out there looking for answers, and he was determined to get to the bottom of it until it got dangerous. This is my full thoughts on it, because, like I said, if you're listening to him actually talk there, he sounds adamant that this is drug related, and he will find everything out. As soon as he got there, I think he realised, what have I got myself into? But I'm here now, so I'm going to investigate it.
One of Jay's friends is a girl called Lucy. She was the first person to report him missing. I've been given access to her police statement. Lucy was asked a series of questions, and the answers are written in Spanish and translated into English, with a few words change so the report makes sense. Report number 2024-0048.
So obviously this must have been a statement she'd made to the police. I wonder whether it was the first one, because it wouldn't be surprised me if she'd gone in there and changed it quite a few times or updated it.
59. The complainant herein states that she arrived on the vacation to the island of Tenerife together with her friend, both of English nationality.
I don't think she was on the same flight as Brad, to be honest with you. And I think she got there before them. This is what I think personally. And it wouldn't surprise me if she was out there a day before or something.
They arrived last June 12 and plan to return next June 20 to England.
Well, if she got out there, say, June the 12th, maybe she possibly flew from a different airport. But I still think it's suspect. I really, really do. Because obviously the pictures that Jay was taking with Brad, I didn't see Lucy around anywhere, and she was basically sitting somewhere else on the plane. But you would have thought you'd have pictures of them all together.
They are staying in an apartment called Victoria Court, Los Cristianos. Last night they went out partying.
I mean, this is interesting because, like I said, it seems like Lucy had her own apartment, or didn't she say that her gran has an apartment in that block, so she's all right? And maybe it is said that maybe because obviously Nan lives there, they basically that Jay and Brad maybe got a discount or something because of using another apartment. That's possible.
The missing friend met with two boys of English nationality, also on vacation on the island of Tenerife, and went with one of these friends to the latter's house, which is also for rent, in the area known as Masca de Benvenita del Norte, on El Torino Street in said area, without further information only. That the house is located in front of the bus stop of said place, next to the restaurant known as Masca. But he had gotten lost. He was in Masca and he had suffered a fall. He was injured on one leg. He didn't have any.
Why wasn't that elaborated? He was injured on one leg. So why didn't his friends call an ambulance if they were in contact with him? And don't forget, he told Lucy that had been cut by a cactus. One leg. Hasn't it got something to do with the beach incident, people? Weird. There could be a connection there. Sometimes we've got to think outside the box. He couldn't walk properly.
Cell phone battery left, and he was very, very scared. He told his friend that he was afraid of dying.
This is that, this is the narrative. I don't think he was there at that time, to be honest, but this is that narrative of people who think, he was there.
Complainant knows him well. They came on vacation together. He is very worried about his friend and is sure something serious has happened. At the early stages, I was told Lucy was being evasive and not speaking to anybody. However, she responded almost straight away to my call and was clearly very upset, but really wanted to help. Lucy explained to me that after speaking to Jay, she contacted the police.
Who told MWT that she's being very evasive? That tactically tells me that someone told her she's possibly not gonna talk to him.
What did you do straight after that phone call?
After the phone call, I rang the police.
Okay. And so you phoned the police, but you didn't make an official report till 6:15 in the evening, did you?
No, I did. I went to the police. The first thing I did was ring the police. The police kept ending the phone on me on the phone. So I rang my mum and I was like, Mum, I don't really don't know what to do. What do I do? They're just ending the phone on me. They're not taking the serious.
I think the first thing she did was actually contact her mum in what to do, because she knew Jay had gone missing in a terrible way. This is what I think.
Whatsoever. I'm like, what do I do? So she was like, just go to the police station and see what they're doing. So I ran down to the.
Just say her mum was somewhere else, another island, somewhere in Spain or something. Surely, basically, and whether she was able to get a flight or a bus or a taxi, that would give it that time span between obviously Lucy last talking to Jay and then making a report at 6:15. Surely her mum would have been with her by then. That's what makes me think in that sort of time span in why she didn't really contact basically Debbie earlier, because she was waiting for her mum to come to basically help her out here, wing her out, because she didn't know what to do and she was panicking.
Got a taxi straight to the nearest police station to me, which was.
Yeah, but why didn't she obviously do that before 12, say? That just doesn't make sense. Why would you do that in the basically evening? It's strange. It is very, very strange. And that's a big red flag there, because obviously, he's cut himself. So you'd phone an ambulance, you'd ask the police to get the investigation. I know she said she'd done a lot, but I think three quarters of what she said didn't happen.
Last America's police station. I went in and I was like, I need to report somebody missing, and she gave me this piece of paper that said, I don't remember what it said. It said like, you need to go on this website and sorry, I'm not watching days. It's not working. I saw the piece of paper, I can't remember which one not working. Yeah, but this is what I mean. I was trying to make the report. I was literally shooed out of the police station. Okay. I kept going, saying, what's going on, what's happening. Like, she gave me this piece of paper and it said that I needed to go onto my phone.
So what are the two black men that drove the car that Jay was in when they went back to their rental address in the mountains? Who are they? They are absolutely vital witnesses. They are possibly, other than the lady at the bus stop, the last people to see Jay. I asked Lucy what she knew about them.
I have no idea.
Well, why do you not have any idea? You went back in a car with them the next day.
Yeah, I don't know who they are. I don't know. How would I...
How can you get in a car with two strangers abroad? She's a young girl and she doesn't know who they are. So basically, she went to the Airbnb, took a friend there, and then Ayub and somebody else took her back, whoever was with them. That just doesn't make sense to me. Why would you get in a car with possibly someone who took your mate and then you're happy to go with them and you say you don't know them? Bizarre.
Well, Brandon knows who they are.
He doesn't know who they are. He knows of one of them because he's been in a coffee shop before.
But hang on.
But like I said, it's that story of Brandon and Lucy protecting themselves, protecting the narrative. It's because they're a tag team and they don't mind throwing Brad or Ayub under the bus in this story, which we've seen.
But Brandon introduced Jay and Brad and you to them, so Brandon must know them. How does he know them? What are they involved in, Lucy? Lucy, you just got to be straight with me here. What are they involved in?
I am really straight. They're not involved in anything that I don't have a clue. I don't know how he knows them. It's literally passing in a coffee shop. That's all I know.
But you don't pass people in a coffee shop and then and then spend 2 nights with them and then Jay goes back with them. And why are they staying so far away from Los Cristianos?
This is what I mean. I don't know why they're staying.
She knows. She's been there before. She knows it's narco headquarters. But like I said, she doesn't want to blow everyone's cover because she's scared. She saw what happened to Jay. And if she talked, the same would happen to her. That's why she's afraid to talk. And like I said, I think in a way, she'd been sort of trafficked to do what she's got to do. And she's too scared to get out the organisation she is in because she knows too much. And this is part of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never met these people in my life. I don't know who.
But you went in the car with them the next day.
Don't forget that picture when we saw her talking to Ayub in a cafe. That when she first actually got there, which is absolutely bizarre. They all know each other. We know that they were seen at Creamfields together. It doesn't make sense why she's saying it at the end of the day. And this is why I think she disassociated who she knows through her TikTok, online, basically media profiles. So people would not basically question about what she said. Yeah, you definitely know these people. It's bizarre.
Been down to them myself.
Okay.
If I knew who they were, I would have been down to them myself and I would have been big. What is going on? Like, I found this house and I went up and the door was slightly open. They were just weird. There's something weird about them. But why did they even know how to leave the country? It's just so many questions.
Okay.
The door was slightly open. And Ayub said when basically Jay left, he shut the door. So why was the door slightly open? That was bizarre. That is absolutely bizarre to me at the end of the day. I think that was, she just made that up. And don't forget, obviously, the court statement that said Lucy actually stayed at the Airbnb. So she's made out, technically, that she's come from Los Cristianos and gone to the Airbnb to try to find Jay.
So how are we going to find them? Brandon must know who they are.
I don't have a clue. I don't know. This is what I mean. I don't know. If I knew who they were, I would have come and spoke to them myself.
Well, she did, because she went to the Airbnb, so she would have had a conversation with him, with her. But like I said, she never really elaborated on what the conversation was about when she actually got there. That was kind of bizarre. And I think it was Ayub said, look, I give Lucy a lift back to Los Cristianos. So basically, there's always that connection there. I think Ayub was covering himself because, like I said, he didn't really trust what Lucy was going to say, especially her taking videos of him. There was no trust in this case. And this is my point. And this is why I think some of this group have been basically disbanded, disconnected, of course, because obviously, you know, there's a bit of a mess up about Jay and people find digging the truth, to be honest.
I'm going to do digging to find out who knows, but I'm not no detective.
So does Brandon know the two black men are? So let's start with the end point, really, is I need to know who these two guys are. The two. Yeah. So he went back to the rental with. Who are they?
So basically, it is on the Lucy side of things. She's disassociated herself in knowing Ayub and basically Rocky from before. And she's protecting Brandon as well as what Ayub's doing, as well as what Brad's doing as well. Because I think Brandon was the main influencer into what happened to Jay and knows the full story. And the other thing is, Mark Williams Thomas knows that this was all Rug related and putting it together. But like I said, he didn't really want to elaborate on it because obviously it is dangerous. I think he knows Ayub is still associated with drug dealers on the island, big time. I do think he knows that Lucy, Brand and Brad have connections out there as well. But he wasn't willing to go that far, possibly because of threats, and possibly he didn't really want to air it on basically national news, which he more or less did, but he wasn't able to back it up. And like I said, I think some of the phone conversations were edited because there was stuff that he didn't want us to hear. Let me know what your thoughts of it. I tried to break it down as best I could, people, at the end of the day. But one thing I do know, there's a lot of people lying in this case, and there still are. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamlight Entertainment and support the channel. Thank you.